Hey Wookiees, Rebels, and more. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today I'm going to be something a little different. Alongside with my re-edits, I wanted to do some like headcanon edits or fixes for some of the stuff in Star Wars that really confuses me or just doesn't make sense or kind of breaks lore a little bit. The kinds of edits that I feel like you can't really put into a movie, not only because it would destroy the pacing or it would feel forced into the movie, but also because it's not the place for it. To summarize this series, it'll essentially be a re-edit for the Star Wars lore and how I do that with just headcanon. So it's not necessarily a fix, it's more of a rethink, or it's headcanon. You get it. Just because this is my headcanon doesn't mean it has to be yours. So let's get into it. The first episode is all about force healing. So to express force healing, when episode 9 came out and Rey started using the force to heal wounds, we saw it with the Serpent and with Kylo Ren, and then Ben Solo heals Rey at the very end. This was not a new force power. It was definitely new for the movies, although Baby Yoda did do it like a day before episode 9 came out, so there was also, technically Baby Yoda did it first. This force power has been very prominent throughout the video games. I can't tell you how many times it's saved me in like Knights of the Old Republic. I just sit in the corner and spam it every time I'm about to die. Or growing up, I played the Revenge of the Sith video game, and 90% of that game is finding a corner to heal in. I think it didn't translate well because of a couple of reasons. Just full disclaimer, I think Baby Yoda gets a pass. He comes from this mysterious background, and because the Yoda species has so much mystery tied to them and his connection to the Force, that when little Grogu decided to heal Greef Karga, that was more of a very magical moment. Versus, Rey is unfortunately held to a double standard with force healing. I empathize with those who feel she hasn't earned her ability to use force heal, but for me at least, I think it's understandable that if you have the Jedi text that you would be able to do research and you would be able to learn ancient force powers through the Jedi text. I mean, I imagine this is the same place where Luke learned how to project himself. So to me, it's not that outlandish for her to be able to pull off this ability. What I do, however, have a problem with is the ability itself and the why didn't kind of syndrome. I'll explain what I mean. After watching The Rise of Skywalker, after seeing Rey heal Kylo Ren, having Kylo Ren heal Rey, we have to ask, why didn't Obi-Wan heal Qui-Gon Jinn? We have to ask, throughout the Clone Wars, why were there no Jedi medics who could use the Force to heal people on the battlefield, heal other Jedi soldiers, whatever? Because this power exists, we have to ask this question. And unfortunately, in the lore, right as it stands right now, there's not any good reason. So that's what we'll be tackling today. I have to admit, I got inspiration from watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. So Katara ends up being this waterbender healer, and it's actually a very special gift that she has, and not every waterbender is a healer. Which led me to connect back to Star Wars with the Force ability, psychometry. Psychometry is an ability that was popularized by Quinlan Vos. He was able to pick up objects and he was able to connect with the objects, see their past, listen to their story. Another example is Cal Kestis. It's important to know that psychometry is not an ability that every Jedi can learn. It is a gifted ability that only a few Jedi can actually be born with. It's not something you can control, it's something innately about your connection to the Force that allows you to use the Force in this way. If we apply the same principle to force healing, what we get is force healing is not an ability that everyone can learn. Only certain people are born with the ability to use force healing once they get to a certain level in the Force, and they can become healers. And in my opinion, if we look at the lore, this sits in very well. For video games, it doesn't sit well, but force healing as a game mechanic is a totally different beast. For our sake, only a few Jedi are able to use force healing. When I look at force healing as an ability like psychometry, where only a few individuals can pull it off, this fixes so many of the lore issues and the why doesn't a Jedi use force heal in bring up example. And why doesn't a Jedi use force heal here? You know, so this was an explanation that was satisfactory for me. But I would love to know what you guys think. If this is something that you guys think makes sense, if this is something that you're going to apply to your own headcanon, or whether you disagree and you think that force healing doesn't need to be this special ability, that if someone were to just train enough that anyone can learn force healing. I really appreciate the support. Please hit that subscribe button, comment below, do the things that the other YouTubers say to do, because I always forget. Do the thing, and I will see y'all in the next one.